Hey folks, how we doing? Live chat 156 coming to you live from London here in the UK. It's Brooks's Bass Corner. It's Sunday, isn't it? 6 p.m. Live chat time. Hope you're all safe and well. We've got some new little additions on the screen. There's a QR code take you straight through to the YouTube channel if you want to check some stuff out. It's all good. Hope you're safe and well. Hope your bass playing's going great. I just had my first gig of the year last night, which was great. I was playing with Royal Rhapsody, a Queen tribute, up at Skegness Butlins, up in the northeast, well, sort of Lincolnshire way. And we had an absolute blast. It was late. Didn't finish till 12:30. Left there at 1:50, got home at 4:15. The eyes aren't what they were. When you're a younger man, those sort of drives are easy. When you're a slightly older chap, it takes it out of you. The last 50 miles were a bit of a struggle, but we got there. Beat after beat, good to see you. Hope you're all well. So if you're new to the live chats, come on in. You're amongst friends. We're talking basses, bass guitars, bass players, bass gear. Tonight, we're going to talk about Queen. We're going to talk about A Kind of Magic, which hits its 40th birthday this year. It's scary. It's scary to me. I can remember everything about that year and around that time that the album came out and the single came out, and it was big all over Europe and the tour was huge, and yeah, just a crazy time. The reason I brought this up for conversation is not only because it's the 40th anniversary, but I got notifications on my socials yesterday that it was 40 years since Highlander, the film, came out. And that was the inspiration for the Kind of Magic album. Queen weren't going to do an album at that time. They were, I guess, before Live Aid, they were going to take a year off again. And but Live Aid reinvigorated them to get back in the studio. And they did One Vision. And then Russell Mulcahy, who was the video director for Duran Duran, and amongst others at the time, he was working on the Highlander film. Queen were his ideal band to do the soundtrack, do the score, and he showed them like the rough rushes and footage that he had already of the film. They looked at it and said, well, we'll do 5 songs straight off the bat, and that pretty much became the Kind of Magic album. It's a weird one because it's not a soundtrack album, but it's not a regular album either. So you've got all the stuff from Highlander in there. You've got One Vision opening the album, which was on the Iron Eagle soundtrack. Iron Eagle 2? Iron Eagle 1. Iron Eagle 1, I think. And then you've got standard album tracks, and there's a few of those. And then you've got all the soundtrack stuff. And it's a weird hodgepodge of an album, but somehow it works. It was huge. It went to number 1 here in the UK, went number 1 pretty much everywhere in Europe, I think, that year, and backed up with the tour, of course, which went all over Europe. It was the band's biggest tour. And yeah, weird. 40 years. 40 years. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. The body tells me clearly 40 years have passed. But in terms of up there and everything else, nothing's really changed apart from 40 years of experience, I guess. And back then I wasn't a bass player. I hadn't even picked up a bass. Didn't know I was going to be a bass player. Knew I wanted to be a musician. That was clear. Just didn't know what my path was going to be. But here we are. Anyway, it's all good. So we're talking basses as well. So if you've got any questions, anything you want to ask, there's young Leo heading our way. Heading to London this week. Hopefully I'm going to get to see you. If we can't manage it, there will be other days. So don't bust a gut, young man. If we can manage something, great. And if we don't worry about it. It's no sweat. Beat after beat, hope all is well. Yeah, everything's good. Life was better 40 years ago. It was a different world. It was a very, very different world. So 40 years ago from now, we were literally 6 or 7 weeks away from Chernobyl happening. Keith Doherty, good to see you. Yeah, that happened. That was big. Although at the time, A lot of it was kept behind the Iron Curtain. We didn't know how deadly serious it was until a couple of months later. If you've seen the Chernobyl series on HBO, okay, it's a dramatization, but it's fairly clear if you go in and Google this stuff, how close that series was. And the Russians, by all accounts, were seriously crapping themselves. And I know a couple of months later, in the summer of 86, it suddenly became aware of this cloud of radiation. Beat after beat, thank you very much for that super chat. You're a fine chap. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. I need to go in and say thank you on here, of course. Spare me a moment. I want that up and running so that I can reply to those things. Just bear me a moment. I'm trying to get the multiple streams up and happening so that I can respond to people when they make super chat donations to the channel, of course. That's there. That's the mobile one. That's the horizontal stream. Yep. There it is. Thank you very much. Great stuff. Thank you. Yeah, so in the summer of 86, it suddenly became clear there was this cloud of radiation heading over Europe. And for all we knew, it had already happened. And then obviously in that series, it becomes very apparent, you know, they were that close to that country potentially going into meltdown and that, yeah. Anyway, that was 1986, folks. It was a joy, I can tell you. But yeah, just it was a crazy time. Crazy time. Very different world. We didn't have the internet, although the internet kind of did exist via Unix servers, and in the world of computing, there were text messages flying around. Yeah, but it was very, very different. Very different. I look at how I grew up through that time and what kids have to do now. I'd much prefer to have been where I was, thank you. It was a happier existence, that's for sure. Zoomer, there we go. How are we getting on with that video editing? If you're wondering what I'm talking about, Zoomer and I do a video series where we're casting an overview on the back catalogue of albums from Duran Duran. And we, last Sunday, finished filming the Rio episode, which promises to be an extravaganza. Of course, it's their biggest album, and as a result, there was a lot to talk about. I think we ended up with it's got to be about 2 3/4 hours of footage, surely close to that, I think. So I hope you're having fun editing all of that up, because Lord knows there's plenty of it. But I'm sure if you need my help, you will ask me. But how far away are you from wrapping that one up, do you think? He's a veritable Martin Scorsese, this boy. Yeah, we had floppy disks. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Big ones as well. Big 5.5, 5.25, 5.25 inch. Big things. Big black squares they were. Yeah. Very different time. But anyway. There we go. So that's the topic of conversation tonight. So if you want to discuss that, we can talk about 1986. We can talk about Queen. We can talk about Kind of Magic. You want to talk about John Deacon? Very happy to do that. Did a Queen tribute gig last night. Back in the Queen groove, aren't I? Of course. Zoomer, slowly. We're talking about our video, but surely taking my time with the edit. Exactly. It's very important, this one. It could be the most watched episode we've done. So, yeah, we will see. Behad Marsh, 815. Triangles are best. Try getting a triangular floppy disk in a disk drive. That would be entertaining. Yeah, it was a different time. It was a very different time. So anyway, there we are. So if you've not been here on live chat before, let me try and educate you a little bit. So we've got the video window here. If you're on the mobile app on your phone or tablet, live chat section is directly below. If you're on the desktop, it's that way. You'll see messages popping up. That's basically people posting and asking questions and leaving comments, which is what we encourage here. At the bottom of that window, you'll see a box that says chat or comment. Put your question, comment in there. Press send. It'll appear here in the live chat window. Then I and everyone else can respond to it. Next to that, you'll see an emoji icon. Feel free to give that an absolute leathering, because the more emojis we get, the better the algorithm thinks you're enjoying the live chat, and it pushes the live chat out to more people. Next to that, you'll see a rectangle with a dollar symbol in. That's called Super Chat. The fabulous Beat After Beat 1967 has already donated $5. If you want to help the channel, keep us going, everything you see here on the channel that makes the videos, that features in the videos, all comes out of the channel's pocket. So if you donate via Super Chat or Super Thanks, which I'll get to in a moment, it helps to fund everything we do here on the channel. I don't sit there with a begging bowl. If you don't donate anything, it doesn't matter. The videos are free to watch, but the channel is monetized. So if you want to help the channel, keep the channel progressing, helps me, helps the channel, helps this video. If you're new to watching live chats, please give it a thumbs up. Most important thing you can do for a video and a content creator, give their videos thumbs up. It's the most important thing. Far more important than hitting a subscribe button. Thumbs ups all the way, please. If you could, that'd be fabulous. Michael Costome, greetings from Brazil. Good to see you, my man. Hope you're well. So that is the live chat section of the screen layout. Directly below the video window, you'll see a row of icons. There's a thumbs up and a thumbs down. And as I've just said, please give the video a thumbs up. If you give it a thumbs down, please leave a message in the comments. Tell me what you don't enjoy. At any time, whether this video is being watched live, a day later, a week later, a year later, 10 years later, please leave comments. Please give us a thumbs up. Please feel free to use the share arrow and share out to social media, email and websites. Always very much appreciated, of course. In that row of icons, you'll see a watch later icon. You've got the share arrow. Next to that, you'll find a love heart with a dollar symbol in. That's called Super Thanks, which works exactly the same way as the Super Chat facility at the bottom of the live chat window. Again, allows you to donate money to the channel if you wish to do so, but you don't have to. The videos are free, but if you do, I very much appreciate it. It helps the video, helps the channel, and all those people who've donated Super Chat contributions over the years, at some point, whether it's this year, well, I'm hoping it's going to be this year. I'm just looking for a decent deal on merch. I'm going to get printed up some one-off unique t-shirts for the channel. You people who've donated to the channel will get one of those. So that's a thing. Zuma, do you hold it against Freddie Mercury that he doesn't like Star Wars? Not at all. Not at all. Horses for courses, Zuma. Everyone's free to like what they do, what they like and what they don't like. I don't have a problem with that. I think it might have just been a smart ass comment. Brian May likes Star Wars, so that's good enough for me. So then directly below the icons, you will find description box. In there from tomorrow, you'll find timestamps. You can jump through this video. If we're talking for 2 or 3 hours, we're going to talk about different things. You can jump through using the timestamp facility. So you don't have to watch a 3-hour live chat top to bottom. You can either run it at double speed, which means you watch it twice as quick, or you can use the timestamps to jump through to the different topics that we talk about. After that, you'll find Brooks's Bass Corner merchandise links. I forgot, didn't I? I forgot to go in and check. Let me just check. Spreadshirts, what we're looking for. Let's just check what promo there is on at the moment. Bear with me, folks. I did mean to check that. I was sorting out the thumbnail graphic and the description before we went live. So just bear with me a moment. I think there is a promo running. I think. Just bear with me, folks. Promo, what we got here. Running until midnight tonight, 25% off all merch globally. So whether you're using the UK and Europe Spreadshirt or US and worldwide Spreadshop, there's 25% off all Brooks's Bass Corner merch. So check that out, folks. Links are in the description box. So as I say, in description section, you'll find the links to Brooks's Bass Corner merch. Then you'll find affiliate links for the Bass Centre here in the UK. Top cashback, vidIQ, and you will also find a subscriber link to the new The Bassist Magazine here in the UK, which launched last weekend. Subscriptions are going out. I'm quite happy to talk about the mag because I know some people haven't had their copy yet. If they've paid for a subscription, they haven't got it. So originally, this time last week, I thought and I was told that the mags were being shipped on Monday, the following day. That slipped a little bit. They got shipped on Wednesday from the subscription house, but they're being shipped second class. Now, anyone here in the UK will know second class means it could take a week or more to get to you. It's just the way it is. So I know the lovely Bill Derbyshire is annoyed that he hasn't got his mag, and I've had a little chat with Bill. Give it till tomorrow. So some people in the UK have had their mags. People abroad, you won't get that till might be tomorrow. It'll be through this week. I would imagine you'll get your copies. If you sign up for the digital version, you obviously have already had that. If you don't get your magazine within the next couple of days, by all means contact me, but I have no access personally to the subscriptions house. What I can do is provide you with an email that will link you through to the publisher, and then they can take it from there. We had this with the old magazine that had thousands of subscribers the world over, and I'd get people saying, I haven't had my subscription, I want you to sort it. And it was like, I just do the video content and write reviews. I have nothing to do with subscriptions or anything. That's a publisher and subscription house issue. But anyone who follows Brooks's Bass Corner, if you don't get your magazine, I'll give you the email and you can contact the publisher directly and they will look into it for you and they will get it sorted. We're not into ripping people off. This is not going to be like that magazine over the past couple of years here in the UK that just didn't do things properly. You'll get your magazine one way or the other. If it is any consolation for anyone, I'm on a writer's subscription and I haven't had my magazine yet. So any magazine I ever write for, I have a subscription for, because that's how I track that the subscription service is working. If I don't get my copy, then clearly there's a problem in the system. So at the moment, I haven't had mine. I expect it to turn up tomorrow. If it doesn't, I'll be having a word with the publisher, just as you people can on that email. So I can provide that, but I can't sort your subscription out for you. But it will get sorted, I promise you. So underneath all the affiliate links there, you will then have bass related affiliate links if you wish to buy bass items, a new bass, amp, pedals, strings, cleaning materials, gig bags, cases, leads, all of that sort of thing. We have affiliate links with Thomann and Amazon worldwide. The way that works, if you go through and find an item you want, click on it, add it to your basket, go through with the transaction, and when you buy it, the channel then gets a kickback from Amazon or Thomann. Those are affiliate commissions. They're very small. We don't get the price of the item. We get a very, very small percentage. But all those small percentages add up to a bigger amount. So if you want to help the channel, get something for your money, if you use the affiliate links, that helps us. Okay. And then after that, and those links in the description box, you'll find social media links. You'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, BeReal, Quora, Discord, and TikTok. There we go. Key Doctor, you subscribe to the print edition, but still got access to the digital version. That's fine. So you should. Still waiting on your copy. I would imagine that's going to be with you maybe tomorrow, Tuesday or Wednesday. Again, they're being shipped second class. Now, I've shipped stuff second class and it takes... I've had stuff take 10 days. You will get it. If you don't, I will give you the email that will take you through to the publisher's email inbox to do with subscriptions. You'll get it. How are you enjoying the digital version, Keith? Looking good? Reading good? Is it all... You happy with it? I want people's reactions to the mag. I've asked for this on the social media as well. The only way we make it better, and we're aiming to make this the best bass magazine out there, is feedback from you people. I've had some already, which I've passed on to the publisher and the editor. So ideas, views, opinions, all good. Even if they're bad negative. Feed it back. I can then sling it their way. What the editor decides he's putting in is up to him. Nothing to do with me. I just get told what I'm doing, and then I do it, and then I get paid. And that's how that works. Key Doctor, yes, it is. Kind of waiting for the print. Have you checked out the videos, the review videos? Old Muggins is here. My work. What do you think of the videos, the video reviews? Good, bad, indifferent, too short, too long? Feedback is good. Feedback is good. I did post up links on the socials last week and some here on the channel for people to check out. By the way, there is now, yes, and I'm waiting for Stacey because she's obviously not watching at the moment. There's a QR code in the corner of the screen on the horizontal version. There is one on the vertical, but I don't think you can see it because the topic strip is over the top of it, which is really good. I've got to find a way to make that visible, but I can't do it while I'm mid live chat. So I will check that out during the week, see if we can sort that out somehow. You've seen the PV, you liked it. What, the actual review or the actual product? Did it sound good? Is the sound coming across? No one's commented really on these videos yet. As you know, here on the channel, I've only done, in 5.5 years, one amplification review, which was the Trace Elliott Elf combo, which was part of a competition we ran. And my general, I've explained this before, but I'll explain it again. So if you're thinking, why has he done that? So on those mag reviews, which will be appearing here on the channel, but I can't release them until 8 weeks after publication. I used ambient mics in the room. Now I could have put a mic up against the cabinet, but my big problem, it's my beef with doing amplification reviews, is that the sound, it's different with basses because we go in via an audio interface and it's a nice clean signal and that's fine. When you're reviewing, amps are fine because you can XLR to an audio interface. Cabinets, different kettle of fish, because you're miking it up. It's not a direct link through to the audio interface. So cabinets bloom, tones bloom. What comes out of the cone diaphragm immediately is not the overall sound that a cabinet gives. So my problem with doing cabinet reviews has always been, if I'm sat in front of a cabinet or in a room where there's a bass cabinet, what I'm hearing, I have to try and convey by video and audio. That's fine. The audio I capture is what I'm capturing. But the problem you've got is when that video renders, and I've finished doing all the editing, it gets rendered. The software that's doing the rendering compresses the sound. So already what I've heard and recorded has already been compressed. Then when that video gets uploaded to YouTube, it gets compressed again. So by the time you guys see the video, and this is the case for those magazine amplification reviews, the audio you are hearing is compressed twice, which isn't a fair representation of the sound I heard when I was reviewing the gear. So my take on all this and what I did for the mag, I thought, well, I could mic up the cab. But again, it's still not representational, because if it's a cabinet with a big spread for frequencies, putting a mic up against the speaker grill, you ain't going to get, it's fine in a gig because you're getting the sound that comes through the PA, but you're not getting a fair representation of what that cabinet is doing. So I thought, right, the way to do this is have ambient mics in the room and let that be the representation of what the volume and what the cabinets are doing. As I say, at the moment, I've seen no one really feed back anything much on those video reviews. Hopefully, as time progresses, here he is, handsome fella. Young Bill, good to see you. I'm hoping over time people will get into the habit of checking out the video reviews and feedback and have a conversation about them. But at the moment, that's the way I'm doing it. Ambient mics, and then, you know, the compression that happens is the compression that happens. So if someone goes, oh, the audio on that review ain't great. At the moment, that's the way it's got to be. I can't make it any different. It's different if I'm just reviewing an amp, because then I can DI it or in the case of that PV, it's got a USB-C on the back, straight into the PC, and away we go. But when you're reviewing cabinets, it's very difficult. So we'll see how we go. It's a work in progress, but I'm hoping people will enjoy it. They'll get the information, and what you see and hear is useful, I hope. Keith Doherty, video of the PV, thought it was well done. Well done, sir. Well done. It's okay, Bill. You're not late. You're as late as your magazine is. I'm sorry. I was hoping it would arrive for you for Friday, but for whatever reason, it hasn't. But as I said to you yesterday, my copy hasn't arrived either. So it's just the world we're in, unfortunately, at the moment. It will get there, I promise. It will get there. Let's just check everything is working. Hoping it all is. It looks like it is. That's fine. Yeah, we got any new subscribers while we've been live? It's coming up 6:30. Yes, we have a new subscriber. Splendid. If you're watching, welcome. Good to have you along. Just checking all of that. That's all fine. If anyone's got any questions, fire away. Put them in the live chat window. Press send, and I will respond. Don't wind you up. I'm not winding you up. As if I would. As if I would. Me? Of course not. But anyway, hope you're all safe and well out there. Hope everything is going good. Hope your bass playing's going great. As I say, did my first gig of the year last night. I've never had such a long period without any gigs in my career of 31 years. It's been a bit mad to start of this year. Mad as in quiet, exceptionally quiet. And everyone I'm speaking to, apart from a few musos I know who are always frantically busy, it has been very quiet, certainly here in the UK. It is starting to pick up, and it will pick up as we get to the end of, as we get into spring. It'll all start picking up. My diary through the summer looks pretty good. Just the first couple of months have been bleak. Emptier than a hermit's address book, I think is the phrase. We've had 140 views so far on this live chat. Thank you very much, folks. Please give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. Really helps. Yeah, I won't wind you up, Bill. So what did you think of the reviews? Have you seen the digital version yet, Bill, of the mag? I'm assuming as a subscriber you would have received an email with the link to the digital version. See, I don't know all these bits. We're having a conversation this week between me, the editor, and the publisher, and tying all this stuff up, because there are things that me and the editor don't know in terms of delivery of this stuff, and we need to know it, really, basically, is the way that works. So yeah, and we've got to also sort out, so at the moment the video reviews are going up on the publisher's YouTube, which basically means you can watch the video reviews without paying for the content. So even if you don't have a magazine subscription, you can watch the video reviews. We need to change that. We're going to change it for the first proper issue of the mag. So that'll all get dealt with. Beat after beat, are you going to frame the first issue? That's an idea. I might do. I might get the cover. I know Joel, my editor, was talking about getting a photo done of all the BGM covers and then a separate one for all the bass player covers, and we might do that. That might be a thing. I think all the BGM covers would be great. It's a lot. I think it's 187. I think there were 187 issues, but we will see. But frame the first issue. What I actually need to do is pull together a load of the pictures I've got with the various bass legends I've met through my work and my dealings with the mag and get those framed up. Maybe do a collage of those. I keep meaning to do it, and it's one of those jobs that sort of sits on the list and you just never get round to it, and before you know it, time's up. So yeah, gotta sort that, I think. Has anyone been out gigging this weekend? You been playing? Anyone been playing? Bill Derbyshire, I did my. Is this like blankety blank? We got to fill in fill in the gaps. I did my. What's that? I did my homework. Did my shopping. Hoovering. Maybe. I did my hoovering. It is like blankety blank, isn't it? We can fill in the blanks for Bill. So I did my hamstringing. I don't know, maybe. I did my washing. That's the one. I did my laces up. Is that what it is? I don't know. This could go on for some time, Bill. You want to leave an open-ended sentence like that? Yeah. Anyone wishes to contribute to that, you feel free. There we go. See, I add in the comments. Suddenly the QR code is visible on the vertical stream. Excellent. So, topic of conversation. What were you doing when Queen released A Kind of Magic? It was, the album actually came out in the summer of 86, but the single was out in March 86. The reason for this being a topic conversation is yesterday, I was getting alerts on my social media that it was 40 years since Highlander was released. And Highlander was the film that kind of led to the Kind of Magic album becoming a thing. And I thought, God, it really is 40 years. I was aware as we went into the start of 2026, thinking, yeah, 40 years since all of that happened. So this might be a topic we come back to further down the line as the year progresses. But yeah, it was a very, very different time. I was at school. I was 13 when the single came out. I was 14 when the album came out. I actually got the 12-inch single on my birthday of A Kind of Magic. Was expanding my musical taste at the time. I'd very much got into Huey Lewis and the News, very much into James Brown, as well as already being a big Duran Duran fan, Queen fan. Level 42, World Machine had come out 5-6 months before Kind of Magic did. Wasn't into Prince at that point. That was something my cousins were very much into. It would take the final single off of Parade, which was Prince's album in 86, the single was Another Love, A Hole in Your Head. And I remember hearing that and going, oh, I really like that. I really like that. And then Sign the Times came out the following year in 87. And by that point, I was sold hook, line and sinker. But 86 was it was a funny old year because at the time I was, as I say, 13. I was into music and I was into computer games. I had a Spectrum. Me and my cousins used to get games all the time. We were both at different schools and they would harness all of their friends who had Spectrums as I did at my school. And between the three of us, me and my cousins, we pretty much got every game that came out at the time. And I remember hearing Kind of Magic. I remember seeing the video and thinking, oh, yeah, this is really good. And before they started doing the tour, there was the Montreux Golden Rose performance. And Freddie whipping the crowd up into a storm. And then obviously the tour happened and it was just like Queen were everywhere in 86. You couldn't turn the telly on or open a paper without seeing something relating to the band. Yeah, just lots of things. Music was changing. You know, all the bands that had been big in the early part of the 80s, Duran Duran, Spandau, Wham finished in 86. Spandau had lost a lot of their fan base. Duran Duran lost a lot of their fan base. Level 42 were huge all over Europe were going out to America, Level 42 supported Queen on a couple of their Kind of Magic shows. Spoken to Mark about that on a number of occasions, and he always says to me, I only have great memories of that. He said, I had the luxury of standing at the side of the stage watching John Deacon and Freddie Mercury doing their thing. He said, not knowing at the time what was then going to happen a couple of years later, but to be on that tour, even just for a couple of shows. It might have only been one show. I think they did a couple of shows. And just to have that experience, because I remember thinking, if I bring this up, is he going to slate John Deacon? And I said to him, I said, what did you make of John Deacon's bass playing? Very different to what you do. He said, man, just like John McVie, totally right for that band. He probably can't do what I can, and I wouldn't play bass like he does, yet who's written the bigger hits? And I said, well, there you go. He said, exactly. Totally the right bass player for that band. And there are pictures, I've copied them on my hard drive, of Mark and John Deacon meeting up at various sort of industry events and chatting away. And I think Mark was, as I say, I think he's a big fan of what John Deacon did, and I think John Deacon was a fan of Mark's. It's although I've never seen that sort of stated anywhere, but and we can't get an interview with Mr. Deacon, so we can't verify it. But there we are. Bill Derbyshire, you have received your digital version of the mag. When I went into it, I found it doesn't seem to run page by page. No, I think what you do is I don't know what device you're looking at it on. If you're on a phone screen, you tap the cover, and then you have a button that says content. You tap that, and on a phone you can swipe. I haven't run it on a PC or a tablet, so I don't know how it looks, but you can either go via the content section, or you can just swipe as though you're turning the page. The video reviews, if you go to the reviews section, there's a video for it. You'll see there's a tappable button, and that'll take you through to the YouTube channel with the content that I've done. DJ Spire, hey, you think the Highlander Kind of Magic is better? Okay, no, that's fair enough. It's a different track. It's a bit more like, I think, the original demo that Roger sort of gave to the band. It's all good. It's all good. All those extra versions. I mean, the fans keep crying out, we would love a Kind of Magic expanded deluxe box set, but I'm not sure there's a huge amount of extra material, because, as I said at the start, that wasn't an album they were planning to make. That came along because of the film. So I don't know how much extra material there is. Probably not a huge amount. I mean, there's only 9 tracks on the album. Then you've got the extras on which are generally tend to be the 12-inch versions, and a few other bits and bobs. But I don't know how much there is. I mean, if I get to meet Brian again, which occasionally happens, I might ask him, is there a lot of extra material? The Miracle had a lot of extra material because they'd had a couple of years to write it. They didn't have a couple of years on a Kind of Magic. I think they went in the studio with a clean slate and what ideas they had, and threw it all in the pot, and what came out was that album. I like it. I like the album. There's a couple on there I'm not keen on, and a couple that have kind of dated because of the keyboard technology they were using. Pain is So Close to Pleasure is one of those, which sounds a bit, it's kind of mid-80s poppy stuff, but it is what it is, but then you've got things like Princess of the Universe, and what else am I thinking? Give Me the Prize and things like that. It's worth it for that. You put up with the rubbish, not the rubbish, you put up with the less great tracks for the gems that will be there. Bill, ignore my previous message. I've just worked it out. You're having fun with this, aren't you? Don't you wind me up. Yeah. DJ Spire, you listen to any unreleased Queen tracks? Absolutely, yes. I mean, my partner and I are huge Queen fans. We've had access to a lot of unreleased stuff going back 30 years. We had stuff in the mid 90s that hadn't come out. I remember hearing Cool Cat with Bowie on it. That would have been 95, 94, 95. What do I think of Face It Alone? I think is a 10. I loved it when it came out. I thought this is the gems, or these are the gems that these deluxe box sets unleash. The band know that stuff's there, but very often they forget. There's so much stuff in the Queen archive and the Queen canon, they forget these things. And then when the team, Chris Fredrickson, Justin Shirley Smith, the team they're going through the archive, Greg Brooks, they're finding stuff. It's like, are you aware this is here? I think they forgot that was there, really. And I wonder how much stuff there is for innuendo. Again, though, Freddie's health might dictate that there wasn't a hell of a lot of extra stuff. I think the works might have a few gems that we haven't heard. And I think the game sessions might show a few things we haven't seen. Again, both of those albums didn't have, I think both of them had like 9 tracks. So 9? I think the game maybe's got 10. But there must be other stuff. They were prolific in that period. So who knows? I know it's hard for Queen because it takes time to do these box sets and do it properly, and you've got to get the original masters and then do it and go through it and then refilter and all of this stuff. And as much as I kind of accused the band a bit in recent years that just keep pumping stuff out constantly, it gets very wearing. I can't keep up with it. I can't afford to keep buying like the 18th version of Greatest Hits and what have you. But you want these box sets out while Brian and Roger are still alive, because they were there. You want their input on this stuff. I would hate that when it's their time and they pass away, suddenly a load of other stuff suddenly appears, like with Prince. Loads of that stuff has appeared. Although, to be fair, Prince didn't want a lot of it coming out. But I would hate for that. I'd rather we have the stuff while those guys are still with us and they can talk about it and take you through the stories of, how that track happened and why that happened. And I think all that stuff's very valuable. But yes, what did you think? Oh, you thought it was a 10 out of 10? Yeah. Well, there is so much stuff and annoyingly, a lot of this stuff didn't come out in that vacuum period between Freddie passing and Made in Heaven, and then Made in Heaven coming out and running its promotional cycle. And then we had very little until kind of they started working with Paul Rodgers. So there was all that time they could have been doing this, but maybe the technology wasn't there to make it as quicker a process. But I feel like there's a lot of wasted time there, but maybe things could have been worked on for these box sets. But hey, it is what it is. They release it as they release it, and no one will push Brian and Roger into doing stuff they don't want to do. So it is what it is. We've had 191 views here on the live chat tonight. Thank you very much. Well done, folks. Great stuff. If you're coming into the live chat, maybe from the shorts feed or the vertical stream feed, you're very welcome. It's good to have you along. Please give the video a like, please, if you'd be so kind. It helps push the video along within the algorithm, helps the channel, helps the video. Algorithm suddenly goes, oh, people are liking this live chat, and it just helps the whole process. So thank you very much in advance. What's your favourite album, DJ Spire? Talking Queen, of course. I'm very happy to talk about John Deacon at length tonight, if you wish. Let's talk about the man. It was a privilege to be playing Queen songs last night. Lovely. Nice big crowd at Skegness Butlins. If you were there, highly unlikely someone that was at Skegness Butlins is watching this live chat. But if you were there, very large, noisy crowd, totally up for a party. And you stayed till 12:30. Well done, folks. And it was good stuff. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And thank you very much to Royal Royal Rhapsody for having me. It was a pleasure. Good to see young James. Hadn't seen James on guitar for nearly 2 years. But yeah, it was all good. Queen 3D sound is good. Queen 3D sound. Don't know what you mean. Explain a little further, if you'd be kind enough. Don't forget we have the super chat and super thanks facilities, folks. So if you want to help the channel financially, you can. You don't have to, obviously. The videos are free to watch. But if you want to help me, help the channel, help this video, super chat is there at the bottom of the live chat window. Love heart in a rectangle. Sorry, what am I talking about? Dollar symbol in a rectangle and dollar symbol in a love heart, which is underneath the video in the icons. Both of them do the same thing. So if you wish to contribute to the channel financially, you can. Yes, we go. Oh, right. So, right. I got you. Queen 3D. Right. Got you. Yes. Oh my God. Wow. What's that? What do you mean? Oh my God. Wow. Queen 3D sound on YouTube. Right, okay. I will check it out a little later. So I've had a few little chats with Mr. Neil Fairclough this week. He's doing very well. He's out with Elio Pace at the moment, doing the Billy Joel songbook. Maybe having lunch with him later this week. He's playing in Guildford on Friday, which unfortunately I can't attend. But he's down south here for a couple of days and messaged me the other day and said, should we have lunch? Yeah, let's do that. So I will report back. Who knows? We may do a very spontaneous live chat, perhaps. Keep watching the channel this week. If I can convince him to do it, we'll do it. Bill Derbyshire. We did our first gig of the year on 28th. That was last Saturday, which went well, and we got 2 more bookings out of it. Well done, young Bill. Excellent. What bass did you use? What were you using? I have to say, I've had some very nice feedback about this bass, which is one of the video reviews for the mag. The Bass Center Neil Murray Snakebite. People saying, I love how that bass sounds. Quite right too. It's quite fabulous. A modified version of that video will be here on the channel in about 6 or 7 weeks. And I have a meeting coming up with young Barry at the Bass Center. And we're going to be talking about getting some more basses up here on the channel. And I've been trying to get Barry to do an interview for a while. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to allow you people to fire questions at me. And then I'm going to take them all and go and film an interview with Barry. So rather than trying to do a live chat and sort of negotiate all the technology and stuff, it's probably a lot easier if I just get everyone's questions and then fire them at him. So we will see. Andy Stratford, band that doesn't get enough recognition is Mezzo 40. Oh, yes. Early 80s. Jazz funk. Fantastic. There's so much more than Garden Party. Ah, okay. Yeah. Young Graham Potts, what's up? We're talking Queen, my man. We're talking A Kind of Magic. Released, get ready, make you feel really old, 40 years ago. 40 years ago. Where did that go? Lessons in Love, level 42, 40 years ago. Live at Wembley, 40 years ago. Live at Wembley for Queen, live at Wembley for level 42. 40 years. Scary stuff. Scary. Blink and you missed it. You used your Warwick CV streamer and a Sire M6 headless. Excellent. Excellent. Good work, sir. You hate that number. 40 years is, it makes you realize things. Yeah. Time is flying. Yeah. I can't believe it's already March and it's taken till March for me to do my first gig of the year, and you suddenly think it was only Christmas the other week. It wasn't. It was almost 2.5 months ago. Ah, dear. Yeah. So how's things on your channel, Beat? All good? All good? Productive? Hope it's all going well. Just check. Stream health. Excellent. Good. So if you are finding this live chat on YouTube, come on in, folks. We're talking Queen, but we're talking bass, bass guitars, bass players, bass gear. If you're doing gigs, we can talk about gigs. We can talk about building pedal boards, getting gigs with bands. We can do all of that. But we're also talking 40th anniversary of A Kind of Magic by Queen. Beat after beat, putting up at least 3 shorts a day. Yeah, I wouldn't do too much more than that. I did a string of shorts last week, tying in with the magazine launch. And 3 is kind of the maximum. If you do more than that and you don't have a big subscriber base, it's pointless because the algorithm can't keep up with pumping your content out and getting returns back for you. So generally, unless you've got like crazy numbers, make 3 the maximum. The thing I've found is not putting up anything in the morning. You just don't get, or I don't for my channel, just don't get shorts views in the morning. Usually earliest I'll do one is midday. Then I'll do one round about 4 or 5 o'clock, and then another one between sort of 7 and 8, and that kind of works. This generally seems to be the best practice that I see from YouTube educators is those are the most productive times generally for putting up shorts. What have you put? Their channel is doing fine but slow. It's a time of year at the moment. People just aren't watching. I don't know why. This happens on YouTube. There are peaks and troughs, and I think also the fact that there are so many channels and there's so much AI slop coming out, and it's kind of affecting people watching. The thing you got to do is just build a community. So, as I have here on the channel, it doesn't mean the community watch everything you put out, but it means you've got a bedrock of views generally, and people that like what you do and what you produce, and then you kind of just take it from there. What's that? Wes Leo, pizza time for you before the big departure. Well, happy travelling, sir. Hope it's all good. Just to forewarn you, we're expecting a fair bit of rain this week. Temperature is kind of between about 11 and 15. So it's not warm and it's not cold. But there is quite a bit of rain coming this week. So I think next 2 days are relatively dry. And then there's a lot of rain and showers during the rest of the week. But be safe travels. Hopefully get to meet you this week. We can talk some bass. Beat after beat, yes, late afternoon and then nighttime. Beat, I'm assuming you use the YouTube analytics, so it will tell you the best times for your channel to put stuff out based on the people that watch your channel. The only problem I've always had with that is it's basing it on historic data. There's no guarantee that when Mrs. Miggins watched one of your videos at 3:30 on a Tuesday afternoon, that she's going to watch it another one of your videos at 3:30 the following Tuesday. They don't know what people's viewing habits are going to be. So I never quite understand how the analytics can say this is your best time to put something up. The only inference I get from that is that YouTube is saying that's the time we will put your stuff out to people that watch your channel. I don't know. I find the vidIQ analytics better and a bit more accurate, if I'm honest. You can download the free vidIQ Chrome extension, but you don't get the full bells and whistles like you do if you pay a yearly £200 subscription and get the full vidIQ experience, which is worth the money, by the way. Russell, spring is starting here, so everyone's getting outside. Yeah, there's that to deal with for sure. I have over 40,000 views in 28 days. That's very good. Well done. On the channel. Yeah, you just got to keep building on that. Don't stop. Once you get momentum, keep doing it. Yes, I use the ants. You mean the analytics, right? It's a formula you have to create. It's not, because the algorithm keeps changing. So it promotes certain types of content at certain times, and it's constantly changing. So for a while, during, I think before Christmas and through into January, it was heavily promoting community tab posts. I don't think it is very much at the moment, because I've been putting, some of you may have seen little video concert gems. I've done it for 3 or 4 nights on the bounce at 6 o'clock. Put a little clip up. I think last night's one was Vale Johnson with Kenny G. Can't remember what tonight's one is, to be fair. Let's have a look. And it would have gone up as we went live. Oh, Bobby Vega. But no one's clicking on them. No one's watching them. No one's giving those posts thumbs up. So clearly it's not getting presented. Yet some of the community tab posts I put up are getting put forward. Because like I posted up a picture of Trevor Noonan. Evening, Trev, if you're watching. With his AI created picture of him reading the mag. And it got 30 clicks. 30 thumbs ups. The gig videos, which I'm talking about, get 2 or 3. So it is what it is. You just have to keep ploughing your furrow and see where it gets you, I think. Leo, here is one. I'm having a go on a 2004 Rickenbacker JG. I love the tone. Yeah, Rebel Ricks are what they are. Good luck with setting it up, though. If you've not had to do that yet, it's been nice knowing you, and I hope you live to tell the tale. Setting a rick up is not for the faint of heart. But there we are. You'll learn these things. They have a tone of their own, and they are what they are. And they can be great sonically, but you start getting a few issues with a rick. No, not for me. Not for me. I've got better things to do in my time. And I've never had a need for one. I love Chris Squire's playing, but I wouldn't own a rick just to be able to sound like that. 50 Thunderer, good to see you. You're on Bass Chat. I keep seeing that, your profile pic thing. You're on Bass Chat. I read your responses. I like them. Very good. It was seeing a video of John Deacon on the Magic Tour that got you interested in bass playing. Good man. We're cut from the same cloth. Well done, sir. Well done. Yeah, I think 86, so many bass players I know say that was such a pivotal year because Queen were everywhere. Live at Wembley was shown on the TV 3.5 months after it happened. That had a big impact. And then they had the live album at the end of the year. That all those things, all those factors added up and meant a lot of us who were of an impressionable 13, 14, 15, 16 year age group thinking about becoming musicians. It was inspiring. I know when I speak to Dan Veal about it, he's the same. We both have the same influence in that respect. It was watching those videos, watching Live at Wembley, the enormity of it. What a great gig anyway. And but even so, you know, the records were on the radio constantly, the videos were on the TV constantly, the album was everywhere, it was #1. They were still riding high off the wave of Live Aid. It was the hottest ticket in town. Hottest ticket in town. I remember, I've said this before on a live chat years ago. I remember being in the queue for Huey Lewis and the News at Wembley Arena and going through security as you go in, and me and my cousin were there. And there were some people around us, and this, I'm guessing a wife and husband, were talking and going, oh, should we go and look at who's coming up? get tickets, and they were talking about, oh, well, you know, we definitely want to see U2 when they next come around. We definitely want to see Prince when they next come around. Level 42 are here in a couple of weeks' time. And the guy said, oh, well, we need Queen tickets. And I remember thinking, you're in for a wait. There's no Queen tickets happening for a while. Oh, well, you know, Queen must tour in 89. Everyone thought they'd tour in 89 because we knew there was a new album coming. We didn't know why there wasn't a tour. We didn't know what was going on. It was in the papers all the time, but it was conjecture. No one knew for sure. And yeah, here we are. But I do remember that. Stood in the queue and listening to this wife and husband talking about who they were going to buy tickets for next. And I remember thinking, yeah, I'm in the Queen fan club. There ain't no tour planned at the moment. Oh, well, Queen must be touring in 89. No. Where's for? Action is okay, a bit high for your style. I thought it might be, you know, but it's very fine for the Deep Purple and Yes stuff. There we go. Yes is what you want there. Absolutely. Get a pick out on that. Grind away. Nice set of rotor sound, 4505, sir. You'll have a whale of a time. You like your 3090s. Try going for some 4505s. It's a world of difference, isn't it? The old fingers get chewed up a lot quicker. So it's just gone 7 o'clock here in London town. Live chat 156 here on Brooks's Bass Corner. We're talking basses, bass guitars, great bass players, gear. We're talking about John Deacon. We're talking about Queen. We're talking about kind of magic. If you've been out gigging, bought some new gear, chat away. Put your messages in the live chat window at the bottom. Press send. It'll appear here, and then we can talk about it. If I can help with any advice or some information, if you want to talk about the new Bass Mag, happy to do that, of course. Actually, can I add that in here? Let's see if that will take over the screen. Hopefully not. Bear with me a moment, folks. And we got to go to that. Yeah, there we go. Fill the screen up with more clutter, Mike. Well done. Yep, we're live. We're up and running with the mag. It's out there. If you're looking for a subscription, there's a link in the description box, which will help both the magazine and it helps Brooks's Bass Corner. The reason for, I get people asking me, why should I use your link? Because if you use my link, then the analytics team at the magazine and the publishers can see how many subscribers come through from my personalized link. And what that will do is through the year and also when we get round to resubscription this time next year, the publisher has already said he will offer a discounted rate to viewers and subscribers who come through via Brooks's Bass Corner. So if you like what we do over the next 12 months and you think I would like to resubscribe, Mike, in March next year, then you will get a discounted rate. It's already been told to me. There we go. That's how it works. So if you use the link this time round, they can see how many numbers I'm generating for the mag. Okay, that's the reason for it. It's analytics at this point. I don't get a kickback because of it. It's for analytical purposes. So if they can see Brooks's Bass Corner generates 500 subscriptions, that's a fair old chunk of cash. Then the publisher then says, Mike, we're really happy that you generated 500 subscribers. When they come to resubscribe next year, you can offer them this reduced rate. See, there's method in the madness. There is no madness, of course. It's all sorted out. So all those little benefits that come from the magazine, believe me, the publisher is well aware of what this channel and the fine people that watch it and get involved are doing for that magazine. Have no reservation about that. He knows. And he's very appreciative of it. So there we are, folks. But it's all good. It's all good. So I do know there are younger people who watch this channel, have no clue what Highlander is. They've never seen the Highlander film. Queen provided the soundtrack pretty much for it, them and Michael Kamen. And my niece hasn't watched it. And I keep saying to her, Hayley, you've got to watch this. She's a big Queen fan. I said, you've got to watch this. Not only is it a great film, the soundtrack will blow you off your seat. And she still hasn't watched it. If I can't educate my own niece, then what's the world coming to? Keith Doherty, you played your first gig with a new band last night. Excellent. First time playing with two guitarists. That's a different experience, isn't it, Keith? So you took your Trace 1210H SMX 410. Now then, haven't used it for a few years. Wow, really enjoyed it. Thought you might. Yeah, that'll keep up with two guitarists. That's for sure. Andy Stratford, reading the mag online. Excellent. Keeps going to the subscribe link, even when I'm logged in. So annoying. Okay. When I'm going back through, right, so this, Mike, point of reference, when you're going back doing the timestamps, collate all of these messages and pass them back to the, in fact, I'm going to do it while I'm at it. I'm going to do it while we're at it. Let me see, can I can, you know. There we are. Right, let's open up a document I can send to the publisher and the editor. These are all the teething issues, and we will address them. Okay, and someone else said something else earlier, didn't they? Yes, all feedback, folks. Feel free to let me know, because I will pass it all back. What bass is in the photo on the video's intro? Stefan Scarter, what bass is in the photo on the video's intro? Don't know what you're talking about. In the photo on the video, which video? If you can put some more meat on the bones, Stefan, I'll try and answer your question. What bass is in the photo on the video's intro? This video? There is no intro. What bass is in the photo on the video's intro? If you tell me which video you're referring to, I'll try and answer that. Okay. There was another message someone posted earlier about the mag. Was it yours, Bill? About running page to page. Like I say, all the comments, all the feedback, whether it's positive or negative. Negative is good, because it's how we make things better. I will feed it all back, and to both the publisher and the editor, and we will get things sorted out. Don't forget, we got the super chat and super thanks facilities, folks. If you like what we're doing here on the channel, feel free to make a donation to the channel if you wish to do so. You don't have to. The videos are free to watch, of course. But if you'd like to help me, help the channel, keep us going, keep us running, super chat and super thanks are both there and available. Obviously, Brooks's Bass Corner merch, links are in the description box. Affiliate links are in there as well for Thomann, Andertons, not Andertons, I haven't done that one yet. Thomann, Amazon, Bass Center, the magazine, of course, Top Cash, Back and vidIQ. Yeah. Stefan, can you enlighten me? Which video are we talking about? What bass is in the photo on the video's intro? And I don't know which video you're referring to, whether you mean this live chat or something else. But if you can tell me a bit more, I will try my best to help you, my man. So we've had 270 views. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining in, folks. Much appreciated. Let's see if we've got any new subscribers while we're on here. Just the one. We haven't moved from the one. Fair enough. If anyone's got any comments about the videos I've been sharing on the community tab, gig clips, there were a couple of Stanley Clarke ones. There's now a Bobby Vega one, and there was a Vale Johnson one that I posted last night. It's all good. Yeah. So if you've got any questions about bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, cleaning materials, strings, cases, gig bags, all that sort of stuff, feel free. Put your message in the bottom of the live chat window, press send, and I'll see it and everyone else will see it, and then we can respond to it. If you need any help or advice, maybe buying some new gear, or maybe going for your first auditions, maybe setting up a pedal board, or if there's anything, if I can help in any way with your bass journey, let me know. That's what we're here for. That's what we've done 156 live chats for. And thank you to you all for keep coming back week after week. I do really appreciate it. I haven't asked anyone's feedback. Are Sundays working okay for you? We moved from Tuesdays to Sundays. But what I'm noticing on the Sundays, the first sort of hour and a half is really busy. And then it just sort of dies off a bit. Whereas the 3 hours we used to do on Tuesdays sort of went through sort of busy, slow, busy, slow, busy, slow. At the moment, it's like busy, 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 slow. And that's the way it kind of tails off. So are Sundays working for you? If they're not, tell me, because we'll have to look at it and maybe move it to another day. It works for me because there's very few Sundays where I have gigs, but and it means people aren't having to watch when they come in from work and they've got other things to do. But I am very aware that as we get into sort of late spring and summer, people are going to be very busy on their Sunday evenings. The last thing you're going to want to do when it's 30 degrees and sunny is watch this live chat, although you will potentially watch it after the event, but it makes the conversation a bit stilted. And I'm trying to keep you guys happy with a time that generally works for the majority. And bear in mind, we're dealing with a global audience, so where it's 6 o'clock, well, 7:15 in the evening here, for young Zoomer, it's like it's only just gone midday. So it's hard to find a time that seems to work for everyone, but Lord knows we try. We've tried Tuesdays, we tried Mondays, we did a few Wednesdays, did some Saturdays. Now we're on the Sundays. But yeah, it's hard. If I went with the biggest majority of the audience, I'd be going for an American time that would basically be in the middle of the night for me, which probably wouldn't be that great, and most Brits wouldn't come on to. But yeah, Rock Fan, good to see you. 1 o'clock in Colorado. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. How are you? We haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. Hope you're well. Hope everything is good where you are. I could take the magazine bit down there, can't I? There we go. I mean, I would love if I could put up some Queen video while we're doing this, but I can't for copyright reasons. So I could test it, but I wouldn't know that it would cause a problem till after the event, by which time it's too late. So We aren't going to risk it, are we? Andy Stratford, your brother normally comes to you. He brings his dog on a Sunday. Well, let the dog watch. It's all good. We're very dog friendly here. Zuma, you're in DST now, so it's already 12:15. There we go. There we go. There we are. There we are. Is there, while I've got your attention, young Zuma, is there anything that's problematic in that Rio edit? Is there anything I can do to help, or anything we need to contribute? Is there anything else we need? Rock fan, what is my opinion? Best Queen album? It's hard. When you've got bands that span multiple generations and decades, very hard, because an album is always representative of a band where they are in that time frame. So I know there are people out there who love Queen in the 70s and hate Queen in the 80s, and vice versa. So I'm an overall Queen fan. I don't break it down into decades and time spans. It's a progression of a band. It's the lifespan of that band. I don't have one album, and my favourite album at any given time can change on a sixpence, really. I love Queen 2. I love Sheer Heart Attack. I love Night at the Opera, but I prefer Queen 2 and Sheer Heart Attack to A Night at the Opera. I'm not a big fan of Day at the Races, even though it contains Millionaire's Waltz. Not a huge fan of News of the World. I prefer Jazz to News of the World. The Game I love, and for years that was my favourite Queen album. Not quite so much now. I love Hot Space because I think it just threw everyone a curveball. It was a funny time for the band. Music at the time was in a weird place. 82 was a very weird year for music. Lots of cross genres sort of crossing by each other, and lots of styles changing and technology coming out. So I love Hot Space. It's one of my favourite albums that they did because it is so different. There's a couple of tracks on there I wish they hadn't done, but I could say that about most Queen albums. I'm not a fan of Drowse. I can't stand Stormtrooper in stilettos on Sheer Heart Attack. It drives me up the wall. I love The Works. I think that was a real return to form. Love Kind of Magic. I loved The Miracle, although over the last 10, 20 years, it's kind of dropped down a little in my estimation. There's a couple of songs on there I've just heard too much. The Miracle, one of Freddie's best works. I just don't enjoy listening to that anymore. I don't know why. It just doesn't really do anything for me. There's a couple of weak tracks, I think, on The Miracle that at the time I thought were great. Okay, it now not so big a fan of. Innuendo, I think, is stunning. Made in Heaven is one of my favourite albums by any artist of all time. And the reason I say that, it captures a period of time in my life. Lots of things were changing. I was involved in the Mercury Phoenix Trust collections at that time. I got to hear the playback of Made in Heaven at Hammersmith Odeon and the full playback of Champions of the World. It was an event to be at, and I've still got memories of that. And also when Made in Heaven came out, I was stood in HMV in Oxford Street, and they used to play tracks off the albums that had just come out at the time. And the in-house DJ played Made in Heaven, and he played It's a Beautiful Day going into Made in Heaven really loud. And I stood there in between their speakers, not knowing I was in like the full force of their in-house PA system. And literally, it was like hearing that at a gig through a PA. It was immense. And I burst into tears because I'd not heard it. You know, I'd heard it loud at home. I hadn't heard it loud on a proper system. And those opening parts of Made in Heaven, the track, it just shook me to my core. It just, I've never heard it like that again since, and it moved me to tears. So yeah, I can't pick anyone else. What's your favourite Queen album? What do you think is their best album? Your favourite might not be their best. That's the thing. But like I say, my view of what my favorite album at any point, what I think today, could be totally different tomorrow. But I can appreciate all the albums. I'm a diehard Queen fan. It's the band of my life since I was like 4 years old. For some people, their band is the Beatles or Led Zeppelin, or if you cut my hand off, I will bleed Queen, Duran Duran, Prince, and Level 42. It's just the way it is. Zuma definitely needs something. It's quite serious. I'm all out of beer. Aha! Is that what you mean, or you mean the video is quite serious? We're talking about our Duran Duran Rio discussion. Do we need to do something extra for it? Maybe we should use some videos and cut sections in. Maybe use some live at Hammersmith clips without audio when we're talking about specific tracks on that album. Maybe. What do you think? Maybe some of that and some of the MTV New Year's Eve ball. Maybe. If I can help, mate, you just tell me what you need and I'll crack on with it after the live chat. Bill Derbyshire, next week you'll be able to watch for longer as it's the last Call the Midwife tonight. Really? If that's your tipple, Bill, you go right ahead. Enjoy. You can watch the live chats afterwards on catch up anyway, so it's fine. You're dropping out the convo, are you? I get dropped for Call the Midwife. I've heard it all. Rock fan, I completely agree. Like and subscribe to the channel. I thought you already had. Well, thank you for the like and thank you for the subscribe. Zuma, there's something about a huge sound moving through air and it cannot be replicated any other way. Agree with all that. Let's see. We're just about to hit 300 views for tonight's live chat. Thank you, folks. Top banana. Well done. Thank you for watching. Thank you for keep returning, coming back week after week. I do appreciate it. If you've not seen these gig things that I'm posting, let me not educate you. Let me what's the word I'm looking for? Let me offer you some tunes. So this is Bobby Vega. I'll put these up, let you guys click on them at your leisure. But check them out. You might find a new player you've never heard of and go, oh my God, they're amazing. So this is Bobby Vega playing a track called Gosh. Check that out. If you don't know who Bobby Vega is, check it out. Zuma, good idea. I'll put a twist on your video clips idea. Bill Derbyshire, you have to remember I am a retired nurse. Okay, all right. Whatever floats your boat, Bill. Of course. So that's that clip I've just put there. That's Bobby Vega. And then, bear with me a moment. Last night's one was Vale Johnson playing Midnight Motion with Kenny G. So if you don't know who Vale Johnson is, he was one of, and still is, one of the leading exponents of the Kabiki X Factor bass. So check that out. And the two before that were from Stanley Clarke when he was playing with a band called Animal Logic, which featured Stu Copeland on drums. This was like late 89, 1990. They did a tour and they came to London, played at what was the old Town and Country Club in Kentish Town. And this was a gig that was featured on ITV as part of a thing to do with Foster's. So basically Foster's sponsored filming of loads of gigs that were happening at the Town and Country Club. And this went up. My cousin recorded it on VHS and I'd forgotten it was on. And he went, oh, got that gig. I was like, what gig? Animal Logic at Town and Country. I went, oh, we'll stick it on. And we watched it. And to be fair, the Animal Logic stuff bored me to tears. It wasn't that good. But there were two parts where Stanley and Stuart Copeland and the guitar player, first of all, did Lopsy Lou, and then did School Days, and Stanley did a bass solo. Great. Listen to the tones. For ages, these clips weren't on YouTube, but someone's uploaded them. They're transferred from VHS, so the sound quality is not great. The visuals aren't that stunning either, but you'll get the general idea. But you can hear a Series 2 Alembic doing its thing, which is never a bad thing in my book. So, folks, check those out. They're good stuff. And feed back your opinions. Let me know what you think. It's coming up to 7:30 here in London. Thank you for tuning in. Live chat 156 here on Brooks's Bass Corner. We've broken 300 views. 320. Outstanding work, folks. Outstanding work. So I'm very happy for people to tell me what their favourite Queen albums are. Your favourite tracks Mr. Deacon's played on. It's all good. If there's anything you want to ask about, bass, maybe the magazine. So I love being able to say that. We've got a magazine to talk about. It's fabulous. I'm now waiting for orders from my editor to tell me what I'm doing next. If you're watching out there, he won't be. He doesn't tune into my live chats. He's the editor of a bass magazine, but he doesn't watch my live chat. That's great, isn't it? That's an endorsement. Bless him. Bless him. He'll be on the phone tomorrow. So we're now assimilating what's going to be going into the first issue. So lots of ideas, lots of stuff in the WhatsApp group that we've both been posting into. So we will see. We will see. Want to have it all wrapped up by about the middle of May. And it'll be coming to you folks, people that subscribe. You can't go and buy this in a newsagent's. I think 5th of June is release date for issue 1. We will see. We will see. I can tell you, Geddy Lee will be on the cover. Yes, he will. But other than that, I don't know what else is in it yet. We haven't had I don't think I'm even going to be privy to the meetings for what's going in each issue. I've said if you want me to, I'll happily sit in on a call, but it's nothing to do with me. I just produce video content, so it's fine. It's fine. If there's things you'd like to see, features, interviews, reviews, what gear would you like to see reviewed? Now that we have the video element, we can do comparisons. We can do shootouts. We can do all of that, which we couldn't really do before. You could do shootouts in printed media, but invariably the companies would get the hump that you would end up saying, well, this one won and this one lost, and people would get the hump. Now we can actually do comparisons, and you can hear. So this is why we think this one is better than that, and there's the audio and the video to prove it. So it's good. It's good. We can open up a whole load of new sort of content formats that we couldn't do in printed magazine form before. So all good. All good in my book. If you're coming in on the shorts feed or the vertical stream, good to have you along. If you're watching horizontally, maybe you're watching on TV, I hope you're all good. Hope you're having a good Sunday, having a good weekend. We are now in spring, that's for sure. Rock fan, you'd like a review of the bass guitars that you own that are over 20 years old? Well, easiest way for you to do that, let me just get you a link, is there's a video here on the channel, which is my bass collection up to January 2023. Where are we? It's there, isn't it? No, got to go 3 pages in now to get to that. So that was my bass collection up till January 2023. I will be doing an update to this video at some point this year. But if you go in there, it's an hour's watch. I mean, you watch it at double speed and be done in half an hour. If you go into, oh goodness, if you go into description box, all the videos featured as they go through. So I literally go chronologically. So the first bass is my Fender Precision Light that I bought on my 18th birthday in 1990. Yeah. So if you then go through the list, it will be fairly easy to work out which ones are 20 years old or more. So clearly a Dingwall isn't going to be 20 years old. I mean, I can tell you, if you go through that list, rock fan, go to the list in the description box of that video and just ask me which, if you're wondering, is that 20 years old, or just ask me. There's too many bases for me to, I can't go through them all. So anything that you've got a query of, post it here in the live chat and I'll tell you. The whole list is there that's in that video. It's 33 bases in that video. It's a good watch. It's the second most watched video here on the channel. So I tell you where I bought them, why I bought them, when I bought them. I'll try and give you as much background info on each one. I get messages about that video all the time. People asking about certain basses, if I'm selling this or that, and why did you buy that? I'll tell you, I can remember. That video isn't really a review of each bass, although a lot of the basses in it are reviewed and demoed here on the channel. So if something takes your interest, actually there are links. I think there are links in the description box of that video through to the demos and reviews for the videos that exist for those basses. So check it out. I guess I'm wondering if I might be able to go through that list if I can see. Can I get all of those on the screen? That's pretty much it. If I can share that, just bear with me a moment. Let's see if I can share my screen. Might be able to. We can do it live while we're at it. Let me see. So that's sharing that. So if I go to that, yeah, that really wasn't it, was it? Right, I need to, hang on, just bear with me a moment. If I share that out to a new window, that's good. And then we close that. Right, now I should be able to. I think it's that. Yeah, there we go. So you might need to squint a bit at the screen, but if there's anything there you want to ask a question about, those are the bases in it pretty much. Anything in your collection currently for sale? No. There will be as time goes by, and things that I've bought for filming and reviewing and demoing purposes here on the channel. Once I've done the content and I don't think I can wring any more out of that instrument, then I'll sell them. But yeah, is there something you're after, rock fan? Is there something that sort of caught your eye? Are you after a particular bass? Not yet. You'll watch the video first. Okay. I mean, everything has its price. I mean, if you say you want to give me 10 grand for a particular bass, there's a possibility I could be amenable. Depends what it is. Depends what it is. You need to put on your reading glasses. Yes, it's a thin read, that, isn't it? If you go through to the video, go into the description box, and you'll be able to see it all. There we go. Barry, hey, have you done a review on a Status Kingbass on the channel? No, but there is one here that's going to get reviewed. There are Status reviews here on the channel. There's a playlist. I can share that with you if you want to check that out. But there will be a Kingbass review at some point in the not too distant future. But here is the Status stuff that's currently here on the channel. Wrong bit, Mike. You want that. Shareable link. There you go. So if you want to check out the Status content that's here on the channel currently, click on that. Reviews and demos thus far. Empathies, Series 2000, T-Bass, Status neck on a Stingray, Matrix. I think that might be it, actually, status-wise. But there's a Series 2 Classic and the Kingbass to come. Quickly check everything. Oh my word, we're flying through the views. Gonna hit 400 shortly. Thank you, guys. If you're coming in either from YouTube or the YouTube app, it's good to have you along. We're talking basses, bass guitars, bass gear, bass players, Queen, Kind of Magic, John Deacon, and 101 other bass related topics. So come and get involved if you so wish. If anyone's got any questions regarding the interview I did for the mag, some of you go, what's he talking about? Back page of the mag, my first ever interview for a bass magazine in my life. It was a surprise. I wasn't expecting it. The editor said, I want to interview you for the back page. I said, you mad? Do you honestly think anyone would be interested in reading that? He said, you'd be surprised. I said, I'd be amazed, frankly. But some people seem to be enjoying it. So here we go. Rob Fan, what time do you usually do live streams? 6 p.m. on a Sunday. So today, 6 p.m. UK time. You've missed a lot of... We used to be on Tuesdays. We did Tuesdays for many years. And it just got to a point where a lot of the US community were at work. They just simply couldn't do it. So they watched the live chats afterwards. You can watch all the live chats. There is a playlist with all of them there. So we've done 156. Today is 156. If you include all the impromptu ones when I've been out on gigs as well, probably over 200. To be fair, but there is a playlist. If you go onto the channel, I can dig out the playlist if you want. Hold on, I can do that. We want not that. We want That would be good. Right, content, playlists, live chats. There we are. I mean, if you're struggling to drop off to sleep at night, stick one of these on. You'll be gone in like a couple of minutes, easy. The record is 5 hours and 14 minutes. We did one. We finished at about, it was about 20 past 1 in the morning. But there's always something handy in the live chat. Someone brings up a topic of discussion and we can ramble on, and there's some good stuff in there. Yeah. Easiest way to watch one of the live chats, if it's a long one, just put it on double speed. You can hear everything and it just goes by twice as quick. Or the alternative is to use the timestamps that I put in the description box and it will jump through. Allow you to skip to the parts you do want to watch and listen to and the bits you don't. So if we're talking about cream cakes and chocolate bars, you probably don't want that. But if we're talking about spectres and alembics and walls, that's probably more of interest, you know. So you'd want to go to that bit and not the bit on the cakes and the chocolate bars. But it's all there. We've got over 1,000 videos here on the channel. So there'll be something there that you'll find interesting and worthwhile, I hope. If anyone's got any questions, please fire away. That's what we're here for. Whether it's gear related, playing related, channel related, magazine related even. So like I say, if anyone's magazine doesn't get to them in the UK by late this week, let me know and I'll give you the email address that will allow you to contact the publisher and the subscription people, and they will sort it out for you. But I would hope all UK and Ireland subscribers, you should have your mags hopefully by the middle of this week. Further abroad, I don't know. We're at the mercy of flights and how second-class postage is dealt with in other countries. But, yeah, we shall see. Do I have any live performances of your bass playing on your channel? I certainly do. I can give you a little playlist for that. Bear me a moment. There is, I think it's called Live Performance. Funnily enough. Yeah, there we go. So there is this, but there is also, I'll give you two. Okay, you're in Colorado. 2 seconds, I'll tell you how to get a subscription. So that's the live performance live stream. And then we did a series a couple of years ago called the Bass String Experiment. Loads and loads of gig footage in there. So let me just find that. There's so many playlists because I organize everything into playlists here in the channel. There you go. Check that out. Right, you would like a subscription link. So there is one in the description box of this video, but let me get you it anyway. Anyone else that wants to subscribe to the new magazine, you can use this link. It helps the channel, helps the mag, and it means in a year's time when resubscriptions come up for renewal, we will be able to offer a cheaper subscription. So there you go. And we do ship worldwide. Hope that that helps you. Any new subscribers? We've had one subscriber so far. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, folks, if you'd be kind enough. Really helps the video, helps the channel within the algorithm. Thumbs up on this live chat is most appreciated. Don't forget we have the live chat, super chat and super thanks facilities. If you want to help the channel, keep us going. You can make a financial donation to the channel. Super chat is used here on the live chats. Super thanks exists on every single video here on the channel. So if you're watching one of the videos, if young rock fan watches the bass string experiment and he thinks this is really good, I'm really enjoying this, you can use the super thanks facility. So underneath the video screen, there's a row of icons. You'll see a love heart with a dollar symbol in. That's super thanks. That exists on every single video here on the channel. Super chat is the rectangle with a dollar symbol in at the bottom of the live chat window next to the emoji icon. So again, you want to help the channel, help me, help the videos, by all means, make a financial donation to the channel if you wish to do so. Thank you for all the links, Brooksy. You have the most all-around knowledge of bass guitars on YouTube. Do I? I haven't got subscriber numbers like Scott Devine, and I don't do comedy like Danny Sapko, so I just do what I do. And if you like what I do, then fabulous. And if you want to join me on the journey, then it's what we're here for. It's the whole premise. I intend this channel to keep going for another 20-25 years. If people like what I do, great. If you don't, there's plenty of other channels to watch. But if you like what I do, you like the journey, you like the gig adventures, you like all the review stuff, it's what we're here for. And I've got a fabulous community. I've got 5,170 subscribers, and we get stuff done, and we answer each other's problems and questions, and it's all good. I've got a community a lot of channels would die for, so I have no qualms about the people that follow Brooksy's Bass Corner. I love it because I bump into YouTubers and influencers all the time, and they've got huge numbers, but they don't have huge numbers of views, and they don't have huge numbers of people getting involved in their channel. They've got the subscribers, but that's irrelevant unless you're having loads of sponsorship. And I don't particularly want this to go down a sponsorship route in terms of filling my content with sponsorship adverts. I know the point of it. It's not what my stuff's about. So, yeah, well, thank you very much for those words, rock fan. It's, you know, it's what I do it because I like it. This is my life. I do bass. I've been a bass player for 39 years. I've been professional for 31. I've done 4,500 gigs in my life. I wrote for 2 bass guitar magazines for 18 years. So I hope that somewhere along the line, I've learned something about bass. But the one thing we don't do a lot of here on the channel is theory, because there's just so many other channels doing it. And I just don't want to compete for something that you can get a good book or a selection of bass mags. What you need is in there. How many ways can you tart up a semi-breathe and a bass clef? Let someone else do it. There isn't enough time in the day for me to be doing all that. I'd rather do what I do, and if people don't like it, they'll tell me, and if they do like it, they'll tell me. Rock fan, you're a fabulous man. I've always said this. Super stuff. $9.99. Thank you so much. Let me just go through, and I can reciprocate the favor. There we are. Lovely. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Great stuff. If anyone wishes to follow his actions, you can do that. Use the super chat facility or the super thanks facility. Make a donation to the channel if you wish to do so. Lovely stuff. Thank you very much, sir. DJ Spy, how many Queen books have you got? You want me to count? You want to ask my other half that? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Probably close to about 30 in here. Then I've got a whole bunch of sheet music books up there for individual albums. You don't even want to know how many my other half's got in the loft. I mean, that we could be in the hundreds, to be honest. And she's been collecting since the early 80s. So every time a book came out, there's a copy upstairs. So, yeah. But there's easily 30 there on my shelf. Easily. How many have you got? DJ Spire. What's your favourite? What's your favourite Queen book? Let me know. Feedback is good, folks. Feedback is good. We have done, good Lord. Yeah, we have over 400 views tonight on the live chat. Thank you, folks. Good stuff. You got any questions? Put them in the live chat window or leave a comment if you're watching after the event. If you do leave comments like weeks, months, years later, I will respond to them. As soon as I get notification from YouTube that someone's left a question, or a comment, I do respond. I'm very good like that. I try my best. Sometimes there might be a slight delay in a day or two if I'm busy, but otherwise I try and respond to questions and comments as quickly as I can. Here she is. The hostess with the mostess, young Stacey Ann. How are we doing? All good, I hope. Hope that cold has gone now. You'll notice we have a QR code on screen. How about that? We're talking Queen, Kind of Magic album. 40 years old this year. Makes me feel old, I tell you. I have to say, I do listen to that album fairly regularly. I can have it on when I'm writing or video editing. It's great. George Iliadis, you superstar, all the way from Australia. Hope you're doing well. Rock fan, take care. You got to go. Okay, thank you. Look, thank you for the super chat. Fabulous. I hope you sort of watch some of that stuff that I've sent you. So all good. I'm awesome, am I? Thank you. I do appreciate it. I try. I try. Do my bit. But thank you for keep coming back. You do keep coming back to the channel, so thank you very much for that. Excellent stuff. If you wish to follow his lead, super chat facility is at the bottom of the live chat window. Super thanks exists on every single video, and you can help the channel, achieve things. Financial donations oil the wheels of the algorithm and what we do with the channel. So none of it goes to waste, I assure you. It all goes towards stuff to keep the channel going and moving, and vidIQ subscriptions and all of, everything that we do. It all gets ploughed straight back in. I have to pay the tax on it, of course, but that's fine. But everything that you guys donate to the channel goes straight back into making the channel better. That's why the channel's performance is going, or if you're going the other way, that way. It's all going up. All the analytics are great at the moment. We're in green in everything. Views are up. Subscribers are up. Watch hours are up. It's what we want. It's all good. We're on the right course, put it that way. So thank you guys and girls for keep tuning in week after week. Can't do it without you. I'd just be producing videos and no one watching them. And there are channels that do that, worryingly. If no one's watching your stuff, would that not indicate maybe you need to sort of take a left or a right instead of just keep doing the same thing? But yep, she's here. She's here, Beat. She has arrived. It is coming up to 8 o'clock here in London town. Live chat 156 here on Brooks's Bass Corner. We're talking basses, great bass players, gear, gigs. We're talking Queen, a kind of magic. 40 years old this year. I nearly said this week. It's not this week. This year. It's all good. For UK folks, there are some string deals going down at Bax Music, BAX. Warwick strings, very cheap, £6.70 a set. 4-string steels, 4-string nickels, variety of gauges, £6.70. Close to what I used to pay on my artist deal with Piccatos. So if you're not that fussy about your strings, and if you haven't tried Warwicks, they're good. I've got them on my John Deacon bass that I was using last night for the Queen tribute show. They're good strings. I have no qualms with them. And they're closer to the price when I buy them through Bax of my old string deal that I had with Piccato. So they're good. Check them out. Unfortunately, I don't have affiliate links for you at the moment. I'm working on that. I'm going to contact Bax next week, see if they do any affiliate stuff. If they do, Lord knows I could shift some gear for them. But, yeah, we will see how we get on. So if you need to replenish your string stocks and you fancy a change, go to Bax, look at their Warwick strings, and there are loads of deals at the moment. I didn't put that up, did I? Idiot. It's a bit late now, Mike, but there we are. There was a super chat. There's been 2 super chat donations. And actually, those donations have pushed me over the threshold to getting a new... rewind the tape, right? A payout from YouTube. So thank you, folks. That's great. Here we go. So if you haven't seen the videos for the mag, I can put links up. You can watch them for free. Let me see. We will go from... Let me get these clips for you. So if you haven't seen what we're doing with the mag, I can show you here. Just got to find the links. Just bear with me a moment. There we go. So here's the PV review. That's there. That's the PV Super Festival rig, which Zoomer's in love with. He doesn't mind me saying that. Here's an Ibanez Talman TMB 100, which will be here on the channel very, very soon. There we go. And then there's the Bass Center Neil Murray Snakebite bass. That's there. And then there's an orange amp rig, valve amp rig. And that is he says. There it is. There. There you go, folks. That's the 4 video reviews that I've done for the sampler issue. Yeah, I love that PV stuff as well. I really do. I thought that was a really great amp, great cab. Just shame about the rattly metal front fascia. Other than that, it was great. I love the fact the amp had a USB-C connector on the back. I thought that was great. Inspired. But yeah, just a great rig, great sounding, versatile, easy to use. Everything, every control on that filter system, as you turned it, you could hear the changes. That's what you want. So it made dialing in specific tones really easy. I can't imagine anyone buying that amp, and in fact the cab as well, or if you paired it with something else, and feeling ripped off, like, oh, it's too much for what. No, I think you'd buy that amp and know I've got a really good amp. So maybe you should go and check one out, young Zoomer. But I did like it. I did like it, I have to say. So is there anything, hello Richard, is there anything you need me to contribute, Zoomer, for that Rio video, or are we good? What do you think? Is there anything else required? We did cover a lot of ground, I know that. George, which amp? I missed that part. It's this, George. We're talking about the PV Super Festival 1200F, which I've just reviewed for the magazine. Bear with me a minute. Oh, idiot. Bear with me. It's this. Click on this link, George. It's the review I've just done for the magazine. So all the reviews will be here on the channel in a modified form, but not for about another 7 weeks. Zuma, unless you're bringing me those beers I need, we're good. Okay, very good. Stacey will bring you the beer. She's nearer than I am. She'll bring you some of those blood orange ciders I've been talking to you about. One of which I might be having after this live chat, frankly. All 4 videos, George, that I've done for the mag, if you click on that link I've just provided there, if you go to the Fellows Media YouTube channel, you'll see all 4 of the reviews I've done there listed. So you can click through to each one. So there's the PV rig, an orange valve rig, an Ibanez Talman TMB 100, and the Bass Center Neil Murray Snakebite bass. They're all there. Oh my word, we're approaching 450 views, folks. Grand. Good work. 2 new subscribers on the channel during this live chat. Thank you very much. That's all good. You'll be pleased to know, Zoomer, I've been doing my homework. I've been listening to the albums when I've been driving. I still wish Seven and the Ragged Tiger had a higher mix for the guitar stuff. Are we all done with the Queen subject? No. No. Queen subjects are constantly available to talk about. No. We're talking Queen. I could talk Queen all night, frankly. It was an idea I mooted with Neil Fairclough a long time ago about doing a podcast or a series of videos. And he liked the idea of it, and I think he really wanted to do it, but he was worried that the good doctors may suggest it was a bit close to home to be talking about all that stuff while he was under their employ. Maybe, I don't know. Might be something we come back to at another time. But you see, doing something like that, as Zoomers are, and stop trying to talk quicker than your brain can process it. As Zoomer and I are realizing, trying to talk about a band's album discography in some detail takes time. And then editing it up takes more time. And unless you're doing this full time, it becomes very difficult to maintain it at a decent release schedule. And Neil is an exceptionally busy chap, so trying to get him to commit to that would probably be quite difficult, I think. But do you wish to contribute to the Queen subject, young Richard? $40 it is. 40 years. Oh my goodness. It's a shame they haven't brought out a box set for that. They've gone for Queen 2, which is due out in a couple of weeks. But would have been good to have Kind of Magic. But again, I just don't think there's a whole lot of extra material that hasn't seen the light of day for that album, because it was written in a very short period. And I'm not sure there was a huge amount of individual ideas coming into the sessions. I think a lot of that album, aside from Kind of Magic, because Roger brought that in, Brian brought in Who Wants to Live Forever. I think a lot of it was done in the studio at the time. Stacey, I tell you, she's fabulous, isn't she? Thank you very much. Let me do that. And I need to then go and send you a little message. So thank you very much. There she is. Happy live chat Sunday, don't you know? Outstanding. Thank you. Richard's just posted. I need to get back to that window. There we go. Comments would be good, Mike. Thank you, Stace. Wonderful. Richard, you would have been about 17 when it came out. Yeah, it was the premier choice on the car stereo. It was that summer. That and Wham! The Final, I think. And World Machine was still doing the rounds at that point. We had to wait almost another year for Running in the Family. When you passed your driving test. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, well, I was 13 when the single came out. I was 14 when the album came out. And I was so annoyed, and I still berate my mum about this because I wanted tickets for it. I had the Evening Standard, London daily paper, and in there, big advert, order your Queen tickets here. And you cut the strip off the bottom of the page, filled in your details, sent your check off, and the tickets will come. I said to Mum, can we go to that? No. I said, well, can I go to that? No. I said, why? She said, you're too young to go to gigs on your own. I said, well, come with me then. No. The biggest regret of my life. I could have gone to Wembley. Eesh. Regrets of one's life. That is one of them, but not to worry. Can't turn that clock back. Thank you, Stace, for that super chat. But yeah, Kind of Magic. I still listen to it regularly. I actually preferred the version that was in the Ultimate box set in '95 because it had the extra albums. Extra album. What am I talking about? Extra tracks that were on the CD version of A Kind of Magic. So if you bought the CD, you can bear in mind CDs were quite new in 86. There were some extra things like the magic ingredients of A Kind of Magic and the Friends Will Be Friends Will Be Friends 12-inch version of that. And then there was the piano instrumental version of Who Wants to Live Forever, which is just called Forever, which I will have played at my funeral. Those were on that album, so I didn't have the CD for A Kind of Magic. I bought the vinyl, and then I always knew we were going to get this ultimate CD box set, and I went for that. So you always thought for many years that John Deacon was quite a simplistic bass player. In the 80s, he kind of was. If you want Deacon, classic Deacon, you've got to go back into the 70s pretty much. But when you come to have to busk the lines on a gig, you can't busk Queen. No, don't. Yeah, you suddenly realise how creative he actually was. Richard, I will give you your homework. However you listen to music, Spotify, whatever. Dig out an album called A Day at the Races, and there's a track called The Millionaire's Waltz. That's all I'm saying. Off you go. And also, if you want something a little more recent, Breakthrough, which is basically a keyboard bass line, but John created the bass line. Try playing Breakthrough on bass. I think you're going to need a pick. I've tried doing it with fingers, and basically your fingers fall off. You can do it with a pick. It's a real finger twister. Yeah, Millionaire's Waltz. And also, on Day at the Races, Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy. It's all over the shop. It is all over the shop. I've done it in one of the Queen tributes I work with. We did it twice. Each time I have to relearn it, because it's just so involved, and it is all over the shop. So again, good luck with that one. But there's so many gems that guy has done bass lines for. So, you know, as I said to young Leo a good while back, explore the whole back catalogue. There's tons, and just sort of go, you know, knee deep in it. And listen through the albums, and you'll hear some great stuff. You know, Breakthrough, that is a really fast, repetitive keyboard line. It is programmed, but he came up with the original bass part. The only part that is him playing on that record on a bass is the bit in the middle, where it sort of drops down in the middle section. It's like a little bass solo. That's the only part, but the rest of it is on a keyboard. But he came up with the line, so. And obviously, well, what can I say? There is the video that I put up this week, which is a short taken from my interview with young Joel from the magazine. Now, if I put this up, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it. Let's see. What's the pause? Come on. Now, hopefully you'll be able to hear this. I'm hoping. Let me see if I can share this. Might be able to. So how does that look? It's there. Right, I will, let me hit that, and we'll see if you guys can hear it.
Forgetting a particular bass player, Mike, that you would very much like to interview, but you never have.
So it's me and Joel talking about if we could get John Deacon to do an interview.
John Deacon?
Well, it's never going to happen.
But that's an impossibility that's never going to happen.
Invisible Man.
No one, he doesn't speak to anyone, does he? I too would love to speak to John Deacon. What an honour that would be.
They went through this phase where they liked
the only way it'll ever happen is if he wants to do an autobiography, and we talk to him about that, or I help him with it. So no, that's one that got away, isn't it?
Just got to a point. He's like, well, I'll come up with the line.
To be
just
fair,
put it on a keyboard.
I can't even remember last time he did an interview.
You got to remember, this is 1989.
1994.
There was so much
My God.
program
Queen
based
fan club
at
on
that time.
video.
Crazy Little Thing Called Love is a
I mean,
staple.
maybe it would be a disappointment, you know, after all these years. You never know.
As I've explained previously, my
I think it
English
would be one of those
teacher who
things
gave me
where
my first
he
bass
just doesn't
lessons
want to give up
clearly thought
information,
that was a
and
bit
maybe
of a
thinks
12
the
bar.
story's been
Crazy Little
told.
Thing
and
Called Love is not a 12
You know, I
bar.
get it.
What's
It's
he
got
got?
the-
Hey,
the-
if you're getting
the
10
start
million a year
of a
and you haven't got
12
the
bar
right,
line,
Getting
but
a
it
particular
doesn't
bass player, Mike, that you would
complete
very
the
much
12
like to
bar
interview,
figure.
but you never have.
Who's that?
Who could it be?
John Deek. Well,
And I've seen many guitar
that-
players
that's
come
an
unstuck.
impossibility that's
trying
never
to
going to happen.
think they can
No one.
blag.
He doesn't speak to anyone, does he? I too would
Crazy
love to
Little
speak
Thing
to
Called
John
Love, you
Deacon. What
can't
an honour
blag
that
it.
would be.
You've got to know it. And the solo catches people out every time. They don't get the chord change, and it all goes very badly south from that point on. So have you got any questions about basses, bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, great bass players? We're talking about Queen. 40 years since Kind of Magic was released. Scary, isn't it? If you're in America, Kind of Magic probably just goes straight over the top because there was no tour for it for you guys. There was no promotion for it for you guys. They didn't go and do any press and promo for it as far as I'm aware. Yeah, it kind of just dudded over there. And you missed out. The tour was amazing. The shows were amazing. Queen were everywhere in Europe that summer. Kind of Magic was, well, I can't even remember. It got number 3 here in the UK, and it stayed at 3 for ages. Let's just have a look. Let's see what it did on the charts. Charts. Here we go. Okay, UK number 3. In the US, 42. In West Germany, it got to 6. Even though they did a huge number of big shows there in support of the album. Switzerland number 4, Spain number 8, South Africa number 10, New Zealand 23, Holland 5 and 4. Went to 4 in Ireland, 5 in France. There were a lot of big singles around the time that came out. Lessons in Love was out. That did very well. Again, that didn't go to number 1 in the UK. George Michael, Different Corner was out around that time. Finland went to 16. In Europe, the European Hot 100 singles, it went to number 2. Number 4 in Belgium. Yeah. So around that time, there was a lot of competition for the charts. In fact, let's have a little look. Number 1 singles in 1986. Billy Ocean, yeah. Oh, there was the Cliff Richard Young one single. Spitting Image was out around that time. Spirit in the Sky, yeah, here we go. Yeah. Ah, there we go. Week by week, I think. Yeah. So around that time that came out, so Diana Ross, Chain Reaction was out. I just remember that being a bit earlier. Is that right? I thought that was around about January. Oh, well. Yeah, Living Doll, Cliff Richard, George Michael, Different Corner, Rock Me Amadeus, Falco. Oh, I hated that. Oh, my days. Yeah, and by the May, June, it was already, Queen were going down the chart there. Yeah, that would explain that one. So there was a lot of competition. I'm not quite sure how that Falco did so well. It was bloody awful. My cousins loved it. I was like, really? Really? Right, okay. Queen owned Live Aid. Yeah, that was the year before. That kind of invigorated them to go and do One Vision. And I think it was around that time that One Vision came out that Russell Mulcahy approached them to do the music for Highlander. And that invigorated him to say, well, we'll go and do an album then. And that's what led on to doing the tour. And thank God they did both, because had they not, a year later, Freddie got his diagnosis. And I suspect he already knew something wasn't quite right before they even did that tour. And we wouldn't have got that tour. If he'd got the diagnosis in 86, if they had gone on holiday and not done the tour, that would have been it. We wouldn't have got a tour in 87. So it worked out in the end. But yeah, we will come back to this topic through the year because, 40 years since. It's a long time, you know. And for the benefit of young Richard, Quo were supporting Queen on the UK tours. They were the headline support, main support. A pretty good gig, to be fair. You got Queen and Quo on the same show. And then the whole European tour with different supports. The Alarm did some. In Excess were at Wembley. They were first band. They got bottled off. Not for anyone to know that with 5 years on, they would be headlining their own show at Wembley Stadium, which is no mean feat. But in summer of 86, Kick hadn't even started being recorded. That didn't come out until December 87. So yeah, you had Gary Moore, The Alarm, Quo. I think Chris Rea did a couple. Marillion did a couple. Level 42 did a couple. But I think that was generally the main support bands for that year. But every gig seemed to have a different support. So, Big Country did a few. They did Nebworth, of course. Richard, amazing they fitted in both The Miracle and Innuendo. Well, The Miracle was meant to be the last album. They didn't think he'd make it past that because the way Queen did albums, there was always big gaps between albums. They didn't think they'd get another one in, which is why the last track, not on the CD, but on the album, vinyl and cassette, was It All Worth It, which was him talking about the band's career. So, and why they didn't release that as a single, I don't know. Maybe too long. But yes, in the fan club letter that Brian wrote after Freddie passed, he openly says that, we didn't think we'd get another album in after The Miracle. It was purely that the album did really well, the singles did well, and Freddie said, right, we're going in and do another album. They didn't really have time to breathe. And the Fat Innuendo came out so well and so good. Although, I'll be honest, when it came out, it didn't set... I loved the Innuendo track and I loved Headlong, but it was a slow burner for me, that album. I didn't really get into it until after Freddie had passed. I had other things going on musically at the time. Level 42 were well on my radar. Prince was on my radar. I was Mr. Big were like one of my big bands at the time. So when Innuendo came out, I didn't know Freddie was going to pass away 9-10 months later. So yeah, it's just a funny old time. I look back on that, and musically everything was a bit of a blur. So many trends and fads were coming and going. If you watch Top of the Pops on a Friday night on BBC Four and you see those old episodes, 1989, 90, 91, there was some weird stuff about. And Top of the Pops just became like full of dance bands who didn't, they'd have one lyric in a song, just got repeated over and over again. Was what it was. You always like I'm Going Slightly Mad. Yeah, it took me a while to get into that. I like the video more than I like the song. But then over time, you realise what he's going on about. Delilah I never liked. That was them pandering to him wanting to... I wonder if they needed an extra track for that album. Again, when they come to do the box sets for that and A Kind of Magic, Innuendo and A Kind of Magic, I think you'll find there isn't a lot of extra material. I think Delilah was lets Freddie do something he wants to do, but also I suspect maybe they were a track short, and that's where that came from. Maybe, I don't know. But there was a track number 5. Don't Try So Hard. It's my favorite track on the album. It sat with me from day one that album came out. I guess when you're stuck for an extra track, you write something about your cat. Exactly. There you go. Zoomer's off. He's off to do some editing. I'm joking. You know I'm pulling your leg. See you soon. Yes. Look forward to... if you need anything for that video, give us a shout. But track 5 for me is the standout track on that album. And look, hey, if you want arm hairs standing up, go and listen to the isolated vocal track of Show Must Go On. That puts things into perspective. You think you're having a bad day? Listen to that. That isolated track is off the chart. Seriously. It is coming up to 8:30 here in London. This is live chat 156 on Brooks's Bass Corner. Good to have you along. Got about another half an hour to go. We've got the super chat facility. We've got the super thanks facility. We've got Brooks's Bass Corner merch, which is on 25% discount until midnight. Links are in the description box. We've got links there for the new Bass Mag. Personalized link for the channel. So if you want to take out a subscription with the new mag, you can do so there. We've got the affiliate links for Amazon and Thomann, and we've got affiliate links there for the Bass Center, Top Cashback, and vidIQ. If you've got any questions, put them in the live chat window at the bottom. Press send, and we'll be able to respond. All right, let's just quickly check all the analytics and everything. That's all firing. About to hit 500 views. Yeah, 500 views. Yeah. Thank you very much in advance. We're on 5,172 subscribers. Thank you, folks, for keep coming back. It's great. Okay, everything's all working. Stream health is excellent on that one. And what about this one? Yep, that's good too. Splendid. Richard, I bought that lovely the gallery have a similar one, a little older, up for a whopping 3,700. Did they? Has it got any famous connections? Let's have a look. It might be up for 3,000. What did you say? 3,007. Doesn't mean that's what they'll get, though. Let's have a look. I have a JD in at the moment as well. Overwater. Ah, yes, Progress Deluxe. Yeah, I think that's been there a while. I could be wrong. I think I've seen that before. The horns just looked to me like they just didn't finish it. Just got like halfway through it and thought, bugger it, put it out. So I was just wondering if that might be part of the John Giblin collection, but probably not. No. Oh well, 3.7, there you go. There you go. There you go then. But I'd suspect they won't necessarily get 3.7 for that. You'll probably get closer to 3, but the way the market is, who knows? Who knows? I've seen Alembic prices have started to come down a little as well, so there's people don't have cash in their pocket. Really? stuff seems to be sticking around at stores. Most of the best ones like yours go for under 2K. I think 3.7's a little optimistic. I think the overwater... I don't want this to sound derogatory, it's not. The overwater fanboy thing, which was existing about 10 to 15 years ago, where everyone who wanted to be a West End pit player had to have an overwater, and if you didn't have one, you couldn't do the gig. That's gone. That's not really a thing anymore. So I don't know what the drive... I guess Phil Mann fans are the drivers for overwater stuff these days, maybe? I don't know. I know Scott Devine was a big driver because he had his signature model. But, yeah. People will buy what people will buy. And, you know, if you like something, you'll buy it. And if you don't, you probably won't. So... Yes, the bass market is pretty stuck at the moment. Things aren't selling very quickly. No, just people haven't got expendable cash. It's going to get worse if this war carries on, because people are going to find their utility bills going up, and then food bills will go up, and it just becomes that vicious cycle. We haven't come to the end of the cost of living crisis from Ukraine, Russia yet, and now we're into another war. And it's like, when does this stop? It hasn't stopped since before COVID. It's nuts. I don't know where people are meant to keep coming up with money from, which is why base expenditure suddenly drops. But it is what it is, isn't it? If you got the cash and you can buy something, you will. And if you haven't, then if you're sensible, you won't put yourself in debt for... You got to get your bills paid. War is money. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Anyway, it is 8:34 here in London town. You're very welcome here on Brooks's Bass Corner. We're talking basses, bass players, gear, all of that sort of thing. If you've been here before, you know what we do. The two types of overwater, the more modern ones with modern pickup placement are much more gentle and polite, perfect for the West End shows. The older ones have the pickup. Well, many of the West End players were playing the older style ones. I can remember doing a feature on overwater in 2005, and they had a lot. And it was they used to do these days where they bring loads of gear down to London, and a lot of the theatre players would come along with their basses and stuff, and it was a very lovely day. Great, a lot of fun, and they all had the older style thing. The modern thing didn't really happen until Scott Devine had his signature model. Really, they kind of... I remember Chris going, well, yeah, I don't really want to do another jazz thing. And then all of a sudden Scott took off in like the late 2000s, early 2010s, and everyone wanted to buy this lightweight jazz bass that he was sporting and he designed, and then it all kind of went from there. But again, I think that sort of progress and boost has sort of leveled off and maybe dropped off again a bit. But, you know, every brand goes through this. There are peaks and troughs in fads. It just happens. Further back, sound like a herd of angry stingrays. Right. Right. Yeah. BFB, is West End Girls related to Pet Shop Boys West End? I think that was just a colloquialism. West End, as in West End London. West End Girls, yes. Yeah, probably. Not that, you know, those two bat for the other side, so in the nicest possible way. So, you know, it's just a figure of speech, I think. It wasn't referencing anything particular, I don't think. I don't know what the song is about. I think they're just... You know how some songs just get written? You'll come out with a phrase or a line. It doesn't necessarily have to be about anything. You'll just find the words will come out, and the rhymes and the, you know, like with poetry, it kind of comes out and it finds a cadence. Sometimes that happens. I remember there being huge discussions on Level 42 email digest about why certain songs had certain words and rhymes. And you'd say to, people reading far too much into it. And it's like, sometimes you just got to get a rhyme that works within the context of the song. Doesn't mean that is, don't read too much into that. Sometimes they're just trying to create a rhyme that works within the context of the song. It is a thing. Having spent many car journeys with Mr. Steve Overland writing lyrics constantly, I know these kind of things. I've heard it discussed on many occasions. A lyric doesn't always have to be prolific. Sometimes just getting the song finished off with something that doesn't sound like a load of toot. You tend not to take any notice of lyrics. My brain is too full of rhythms, pulse intervals and patterns to take notice. That could be your undoing. Sometimes a lyric is the signpost to the change coming up. It is for me. I know when I've depped on things at short notice and thought, cripes, what's my cue for that? And I'll suddenly pick up on a line, especially if it's a familiar line, leading into a chorus or something like that. That's the point where you're coming in. So sometimes that's my my signpost. Well, that's the way I take it anyway. Let's see how we're doing here. Analytics, what are we on? 520 views. Well done, gang. Well done. Thank you. If you're coming in on the shorts feed or the vertical stream feed, you're very welcome. Good to see you. We got another 22 minutes to go before we hit 9 o'clock. Don't forget, folks, Mother's Day next Sunday. Get your cards and your flowers. Get all that sorted out in advance. Don't leave it to the day before. More like you can never remember lyrics. You've never had to do singing, that's clearly. There's nothing to get the back end going like having to learn songs and sing leads. So thankfully I haven't had to do that for a long, long time. Not something I miss, I can assure you. 22 minutes, plenty of time for Stacey to type out the complete works of Shakespeare. She's already done that. She's done that and gone for a dinner. Don't worry about that. So yeah, been a busy old week, I have to say. The Queen tribute that I did last night kind of landed in my lap on Tuesday, I think. So I had to get all their stuff prepped. Thank you to young David, who provided all the stuff. Slightly different arrangements, some different starts and endings, but it was all good. We had a blast last night, absolute blast. And look forward to doing a few more of those with those fine chaps. And now it's full steam ahead. Festival season approaching. Lots of weddings, private dues, theatre gigs. Uncle Funk are going to be on the road shortly. We've got a load of theatres here, there and everywhere. So looking forward to it. It's going to be a busy old year. Got a trip to Portugal with ABBA. End of June. And actually there's a couple of other possible trips as well. So see if all those happen. Although the way things are at the moment, there won't be anything going on in the Middle East or Far East. That's for sure. We'll just keep away from that area for the time being. Of course. We were supposed to be doing a Scandinavian tour this year. I've heard nothing about that. We haven't had an Uncle Funk show since December, so that will be a discussion. I'm having a lunch with His Highness this week, so I will bring that up. What happened to the Scandinavian tour we were meant to be doing? Unless it is still in the melting pot and we just haven't got any specific dates. I don't know. It's all in the hands of agents and promoters, isn't it? So have you got any questions, any comments? Bass gear, bass players. You want to talk about Queen? Kind of Magic album, 40 years old this year. I couldn't tell you where 40 years went. Just flew. I can remember talking to my other half 10 years on from 86. In 96, we just started seeing each other at the time. Big Queen fans, of course, and we were talking about it. And it's like, wow, where did 10 years go? Well, here we are 30 years on from that. Where did the time go? It just went, didn't it? And yeah, crazy. Just a shame we're not going to get a box set for that album this year. It would have been good on the 40th anniversary, but there we go. Queen don't tend to do product to coincide with anniversaries, as we've learned. They tend to do stuff when it suits them and they'll have a preference. I think as the guys are getting older, it's like a rush to get the prioritizing what goes next as opposed to working alongside anniversary dates. But but a Magic box set could be great. I mean, the design stuff would be fab. You party the whole 80s, do you, B? Excellent stuff. That's what I like to hear. Yeah. So we'll be back next Sunday, I think. I haven't booked any live chats, actually, after this one today. So need to look at that, go through the diary, work out which Sundays we can do and which ones we can't. And I'll get all that dealt with this week. Find out what the next batch of gear reviews for the magazine are. And off we go with issue 1. You first encountered Queen a year earlier on a county youth orchestra tour to Holland. We must have sung Queen's greatest hits all the way there and back. It's one of those albums. It's one of those sort of classic albums, the greatest hits 1. And yeah, God. I remember buying my first copy of that, crikey. And I remember borrowing, my neighbour in Scotland had the cassette of it. And my mum borrowed the other neighbour, the other side's acoustic guitar. Because she clearly knew I had some musical leanings. And I couldn't get my head round chords at the age of 11 and 12. It just wasn't. It's like, chords? What's that? I don't know. And but the other neighbour had Greatest Hits 1, and I was like, oh, right, yeah, this is amazing. You had it on cassette. Yeah. And yeah. Well, the following year in 87 was when I bought the Complete Works box set. So that was all the albums up to that point on vinyl. That box set now is worth a very pretty penny. So, yeah. You'll show. We are showing our age. It's, like I say, 40 years. 40 years. It's 40 years since Level 42 live at Wembley. That'll age lots of people because a lot of them were teenagers at the time. And yeah, reel to reel is better than cassette sound. Yeah, you couldn't go into a branch of HMV or Our Price and buy reel to reel though. That wasn't a thing. It's very different times. Very different times. We got 14 minutes to go, people. If you've got any questions or comments, get them in the live chat window, and then we can respond to them. $550 views, folks. Thank you. Outstanding work. done. Do I have Queen on 8-track? Nope. No, not a single bit of that. I'm sure there are a couple of their albums. Well, there would be in America because you had 8-track players in your cars, didn't you? But no, none of that. None of that. It's all vinyl, cassette, and CD. CD. We were a little too young for 8-track when my dad had one in one of his cars. Yeah, that's it. They were in cars, weren't they? I think a bit more prevalent in America than they were over here. The 8-track players, but yeah, I remember in 86 and 87, I was debating whether to buy. I knew of this box set, so that box set got launched in Complete Works. We're talking about got launched in November, December 85, and in 86 I was like, well, shall I buy that box or shall I buy the albums individually? And I think it was cheaper to buy the box because the most recent, and also the box didn't include Kind of Magic because it hadn't come out, but it included everything else. But you didn't get the covers. The covers were in a booklet, and the albums came in white embossed sleeves. But I'm glad I did buy the box set because, as I say, now over time that box set's now worth a fair bit of money. Whereas if I just bought the vinyls, you've got the vinyl, haven't you? But the box set is now actually worth something substantial, so that's good. Yeah, I used to go into Our Price in Wimbledon. And so in the Queen rack, which was a fairly substantial rack, they'd have all the albums on vinyl. And then there was like an insert which said, the Complete Works box set, if you want this, you've got to take this and go to the desk and they'll get it. But they didn't have it. Basically, they would order it for you. But I don't know how they could have done that because there weren't many of them made. And occasionally, I think the last time I saw one in a record shop that was brand new and sealed was in an HMV, and that would have been 1998 or 99. And it was up to, I think, about 200 quid at that point. They're worth about 600 to 800 now. But Skiller Bill, hey Brooksy, I know you've had a number of status basses. Yep, still got them. I just bought myself a Status GP Vintage. Very nice. Bill Derbyshire is your man for those. He's got one of those. Have you ever played or owned one? I've played one, not owned one, but Bill has got one. Amazing bass. Delighted with it. PJ pickups. Yes, they are lovely. Semi-acoustic as well. They've got that element to them, haven't they? Excellent. Enjoy. Very nice necks on those as well. Congrats. Amazing bassist Guy Pratt has a GP in his collection. Yes, he does. Well, it's his. That's where the GP comes from. So it was designed for him. That's what all that was about. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Enjoy. And don't forget, if the fingerboard needs cleaning, WD-40 for that. Brings back the luster and the darkness. Because a phenolic fingerboard starts to lighten up as years go by. So regular, every 6 months, get a piece of kitchen towel, put some WD-40 on it, wipe it on the board, job done, easy. Stops the phenolic material from drying out and looking a bit pasty. That's all good. It's all happening. Yep. Yep, good. Yours came with a John East preamp, okay, but looking to return to original. Have you got the original preamp with it? Obviously, maybe not. Any idea where I could get? You would need to go via Status's website. They have spare parts and circuits there. I can't remember what was in it. Let me just have a look. I think it was a 2-band pre, wasn't it, on that? We'll soon find out. Active circuits. Here we go. So we want the GP vintage. It's not listed there. Richard, what are you thinking? I can't remember what the circuit on those was. I have a look on State Eye. GP artist, here we go. So it was, okay, so it's 4 controls, so it's probably going to be volume, pickup, pan, probably bass and treble. So it's an active 2-band EQ, master volume, pickup, balance. It's not saying which. I would, if I were you, I would drop Status an email, and they'll tell you if that circuit you need is in stock. I think that's your best chance of anything there. If they haven't got any listed, they may have one knocking about. And they'll tell you whether you're going to be able to have one or not. And if not, you can't have it. Basically, I don't ever see someone selling Status circuits unless they're replacing something. So you've just got to hope someone with another one of those bases does it. They didn't sell many of those, so I can't imagine. I can't imagine too many of them will come up. Just drop them an email and they'll tell you. Often wonder why Rob did the twin volumes like a jazz plate on the T bass. Well, the T bass I've got does sound like a jazz, but unfortunately the circuit and the pickups just hot rods it to a different place, so you don't get that passive tone clearly. And the switch is it just takes the EQ out of it, so you just got the 2 volumes. But my T bass does a pretty good impression of a boosted jazz. Not the same, of course, different materials, different woods and stuff, but yeah, not too bad. But then again, mine was a 95, so it was like the original idea for it. Skiller built, I think they were made to order. Possibly, it wasn't a big seller. Not a stock item. No, but I think if it is using like a T-bass circuit, you've probably got more chance of getting something. I played an early Status 1 in 2007 when I bought my stock S2 and played the one at Andy Baxter's. Yeah, so the one at Andy Baxter's would have been the more recent T-basses. They're not really anywhere close to what the original ones were, because Rob changed the whole circuitry and board and components. You've got to remember, those original T-basses came out between 95 and 99. You know what Rob's like for tinkering. A lot of things could have been changed. So, yeah. Yeah, there we are. Folks, it's coming up towards 9 o'clock. It's been a pleasure. 3 hours, and it just goes like that. We will see you next Sunday. Have a great week. If you're out playing, enjoy yourselves. If you're driving anywhere, be careful. Please, if you're watching this after the event, please give the video a thumbs up. Very important. Helps the video, helps the channel, pushes us through the algorithm. Please leave comments. If I get a comment, I'll reply to it as quickly as I can. And please share. out on social media. It's very much appreciated in advance. I don't know what's going up on the channel this week, so I've got tons and tons of things going on to do with different projects, so we will see how we get on. Be a blessed week ahead, everyone. Excellent. So as we wrap up tonight's live chat, there's going to be on the vertical stream, there's going to be a little graphic coming in sort of here, there, yeah, and on the horizontal it's going to be sort of there, sort of place, really. I'm going to put up a link to the bass collection video, so that goes back to January 2023, and I rattle through all 33 basses that I had at the time. The collection has increased a little since then. I will do an update to that sometime in the next couple of months, but anyway, that video is going to be there in about 2 seconds flat. So if you want to check that out, it's about an hour's watch. If it's too much, you've got all the timestamps, you can jump through to the different basses, or you can just watch it at double speed and it goes by twice as quick. On that note, have a great week. I will see you next Sunday. Take it easy, folks.